Nick, your last album, Draconian Times, did very well, and I guess you're pretty excited about your new album, 1 Second. Was it hard to come up with new ideas for this record?
Well, not really. I mean, we just we had a year, 8 months to write the album. I mean, the hardest part is actually tidying up towards the end of the songs. Actually, just trying to make everything just perfect. That's the hardest part. But I mean, there's always ideas. I mean, every day of your life, something happens. Something different happens every day. There's always ideas there, you know.
Okay. You wanted the album to be perfect. I guess the production is pretty different this time, or a bit different. You've used some electronics, and I don't think you used that much in the past. How did you come up with that idea?
The actual approach to songwriting was different because the album, the music was written actually on keyboards, because Greg just bought a keyboard basically and used that as opposed to just working out everything on guitars. I mean, the way I wrote using a small, like a mini studio, so it was easy for trying out different equipment and being able to work out ideas, and you know, we just, like I said, we had more time to write this album than before, so we had more time to get it right, you know, and not just kind of giving in on just thinking, oh well, what the hell, let's just do it guitars for the sake of it. We could actually just do exactly what we wanted to do, you know. So.
Okay. The producer you used this time, he has produced a lot of some famous bands. Is this the first time you used this guy?
Yeah. We hadn't used him previous to this. I mean, he's mainly worked with Swedish artists. I mean, he did a remix of Killing Joke, but yeah, I mean, you know, he's only really worked with Swedish bands before.
Okay. Why did you pick him?
Because we like the sound of the bands that he'd done. You know, he got a very vibrant sound, and you know, there was a lot of energy in his production style, so that's why we chose him. You know.
Okay. I guess for each album now you make music that will appeal to a greater audience. Do you have that in mind when you write the new music now?
No, we don't really think about that. We just think about what we like to listen to. We sort of think what we would, if we were fans of music, what would we want to buy, and what we play is what we would buy. You know, it's what we like. If it gets to a greater audience, that's, you know, great, good and well, but you have to be happy with, you have to love what you do yourself to before you can expect anyone else to love it, you know.
Could you release another album now these days, like the albums you released the first time? I mean, like more death music.
Well, no, because it wouldn't be rewarding to do that. We played each album as good as we were capable of at the time, and the death thing is just, it just wouldn't get any satisfaction from that. We could write a death metal album in 2 days. I mean, it's just too easy to do that. Okay. It wouldn't get any pleasure from it, you know.
Now I've seen some pictures. You have cut your hair, and the production is a bit different. Is this some kind of a turning point for the band? Are you heading for a new image, or is it just a coincidence?
If you cut your hair, you instantly have a different image. But I mean, I just cut my hair because if you had seen it before I cut it, you would have said, yeah, cut your hair. I mean, it's got nothing to do with the music. I couldn't really care less what anybody else thinks. It's just, you know, it's my mother told me to get it cut, so I just said, okay, Mum, I'll cut it at long last. No, it's just really bears no resemblance over anything. I mean, the music's different, yeah, sure, but I mean, the hair thing is just nothing to do with it. You know, it's a lot easier to tour with hair this length. I was getting sick of touring, and with this big, on stage I was like swallowing mouthfuls of hair, and it's not good for the throat, you know. So it's easier.
Your new album is called 1 Second. Any particular reason for choosing that title?
None other than the fact that we think that's a really good song on the album, and we wanted to avoid a typical cliche gothic title like on The Garden of Swans or something like that. We didn't want to use the stereotypical gothic title, even though the music is very, very, it could be very gothic at times. We didn't want to have the stereotypical image. I mean, the artwork is not very sort of kind of different to what we've used before. So yeah, we just wanted to avoid the cliches.
A lot of goth bands are influenced by Paradise Lost. It could be interesting to hear. Are you influenced by any other goth bands?
The only goth bands we were influenced by is the ones that started it in like the early '80s, like the Southern Death Cult, the Old Mission, the Old Sisters. I mean, and even now we haven't listened to those bands for like 5 years or 6 years, well more. You know, we just take what we remember about those bands, the vibe we got from those bands, and just brought it into a modern context. I mean, there's no other bands that are influenced by Paradise Lost that we actually care to. You know, we don't listen to anything like that. It's the original people that we're interested in. We're not bothered about the copies.
But you call yourselves a goth band. You have no problem with it.
I don't. Really, I mean, other people make labels. I mean, we don't really have any label for ourselves. We just write songs we like. We don't really think about if it's gothic, is it metal, is it this? I mean, we just do what we do and try and be as original as possible. We don't really. I mean, we don't want to be kind of lumped in with kind of bands that copy us, because we want to be ahead of everyone else. And as soon as everyone starts copying us, we'll do something else anyway. So we want to be totally original. We're not interested in being part of some little scene. You know, we want to be on our own and be like, and you know, fans of the band, and that's it. We don't want to be compared to, you know, this band, or you know. I mean, ultimately that happens, but we don't particularly, you know, like that too much. But
the album will be released in July. Last year you did a lot of festivals. Will you be doing any festivals this summer?
No. We're doing two in Germany. It was one originally, but now it's two. Our manager likes to keep us busy, you see. So, you know, I mean, we're going to do the Bizarre Festival in Germany, but we did so many festivals last year. We just didn't want to do that. It was just getting kind of ridiculous. So, but we're going to do a full tour in September.
Okay, and when will you be back in Norway?
I don't know. Anytime. I don't know. I mean, we will be definitely here, you know, but I don't know what day. Like I say, around September.
Okay. There's somebody at the door. Maybe you just quickly could choose a song of the album for me to play after this interview.
Okay. Disappear. I think that's one of my favourites at this moment. So, yeah, Disappear.